When I first moved to Cobble Hill, I discovered the asparagus farm. It was just about a 5-minute drive from my house. I met the farmer, Chuck, and Chuck had this beautiful golden retriever. And he told me the story of how he used to go down the rows and carefully cutting the asparagus, leaving it in little piles. And one day he looked up and all the asparagus was gone. He couldn't figure out where the asparagus went. Then his dog came along, gave out a little asparagus-scented burp, and then he knew what happened to the asparagus. Now Jocko runs the farm. Jocko is an amazing guy. He has boundless amounts of energy, and he is really tearing that place apart and sprucing it up. He's built new buildings to create a market area, a kitchen area. It's going to be a great addition to the community. I go there first thing in the morning. I get a beautiful piece of asparagus like this, and before I'm even down the driveway, I start eating it. It's just fantastic stuff. It's really easy to use. You just need to snap it. The woody part will snap off where it naturally should, and then it's ready to go. So this is a really simple recipe I learned from Chef Bruce Wood over on Salt Spring Island in Bruce's Kitchen. I'm just putting some grapeseed oil into a hot fry pan, and then I'm taking my freshly washed asparagus. It's gonna sizzle a bit. This is called pan roasting. Just gonna do that for about 3 minutes or so. So while those cook, I'm gonna prepare one of our flavorings, which is a slice of prosciutto. And I'm just gonna cut it into thin strips. And that's gonna add some nice flavor to it. When asparagus is really fresh, you don't need to cook it for that long. You don't want it to get limp, you still want it to have a bit of a bite to it. All right, so those have been cooking for about 4 or 5 minutes in there. Just gonna take them out. Put them right into my oven to keep warm. And in the meantime, I'm going to add a little bit of flavor with some butter. So after the butter has melted and started to brown just a little bit, take some balsamic vinegar and put a few glugs of that in. And add your prosciutto. A little bit of salt and pepper. You don't need too much salt because the prosciutto is salty itself. And that, because of the sugar content of the balsamic, has already started to thicken a bit. So I'm going to turn the heat off. So some fresh mixed greens onto our plate. Just lay a few of them. You see, by not cooking them so long, they've got that beautiful green glow to them still. And then we go back to our pan with the balsamic and the butter and just drizzle that all over there. So it's a beautiful little salad for two in the spring of the season from Cobble Hill asparagus. Gotta love it. Another way of preparing asparagus is to simply poach it. So I've got a fry pan full of boiling water. I'm going to add some salt to it. Stir it up a bit. And add the asparagus. So for fresh asparagus like this, you probably only need to poach it for about 3 or 4 minutes. You don't want to get it so that the green starts to fade. You want that nice, vibrant green asparagus to show through on the plate. So after our 3 or 4 minutes have passed, we take the asparagus, and I've got a bowl of ice water here. I'm putting them directly into the ice water to stop them cooking, kind of shock them a bit to keep that vibrant green color. And take them out and put them on our serving platter while we do the rest of the dish. The beautiful feature of this dish, which is kind of Italian in nature, is that you can use some fresh herbs from the garden. And then I've gone and plucked some fresh sage out of my garden. Really easy herb to grow. Everybody should have some. And this is a classic Italian presentation, kind of a brown butter sage sauce that we're going to put over top of our asparagus. And we want to cook it just so that they brown and not burn. While the butter is browning, I'm going to crack an egg into the fry pan. Now you can poach this egg, that's one of the traditional preparations. I prefer just frying it quickly in a bit of olive oil. You want to have it so that the egg yolk is still nice and runny. Egg is just about done. Let that cook for a little bit. It's spitting a bit, so I'm going to put a little lid on top. My butter is getting nicely browned. So we take the butter and sage, pour it over top, like that. Go to our egg, pour it right on top like that. And the final touch, a good grating of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. There you have it, you're ready for lunch. Remember, springtime is asparagus season. Make the effort, get out to a farmer's market, your local farm stand, maybe a specialty grocery store. Look for local asparagus and enjoy it while it's here.